All right. Very good. Here comes Janice. Here she is. Hello, Janice. So beginning again, I wanted to introduce Sandra. So Sandra is a tutor working with a beginner, and she came to a beginner's workshop that we recently hosted at the Litnet Library and shared this resource that the people, the 11 of us in the room, well, 13, including Miguel and I, said, that's really cool. Let's learn about that. Last month, another tutor hosted a workshop like this about Zoom, about ways to use Zoom. And so it's been great because we can have a small group that's here that the time works out for, and we can record it and share it with more people. So it's just been one of the little weird advantages of COVID about, you know, how we can share information and not all have to be somewhere at the same time. So I'm going to hand it. Are there any questions before we begin? So Sandra's going to present about Google Classroom. As I mentioned, it's going to be recorded, so don't feel like you need to write copious notes tonight. You could also just listen and take it in, and then I'll send you the recording so you could go back. She's got a wonderful slide presentation, so it's going to be nice and spelled out for you. So over to Sandra.
Thank you. So what I really tried to do is think about how to do a presentation that could do a kind of like a quicker overview, just so the resources, so you're more familiar with the resources and see what was available. Google Classroom is deep. There's a lot of things to do in it that I don't know how to do. I am not an expert. I appreciate that Lee put that adjective in front of it, or expertise, I think she said. I just play around with it and I find what works for me. So I put together a slide presentation, and hopefully it will kind of give you an idea of how to just establish a classroom. So let me share that with you guys. All right. So I thought about learning spaces. So I just, this is called creating a learning space for English language learners and tutors using Google Classroom. Google Classroom is really a format that both works for learners and us as tutors. That's why I think it's so important. Oh, it's not letting me go to my next slide. Why isn't that working? Uh-oh. Okay, technical difficulty number one.
Yeah, maybe go out of,
oh, sorry.
Oh, there you go, there you go.
Yeah, right here. I was going to, if you guys don't mind, if it doesn't become too obnoxious, just do this red laser pointer, just to kind of help guide. So as a tutor, I was thinking about language learning and the 4 components of language learning. So listening, speaking, reading, and writing. And the idea of how do I put that into some format, some learning space where I can cover and easily access information for both myself and for the learners. So in terms of learning space design, I thought the key components, and this is going to be different for everybody, but the key components for me are organization. It's got to be organized so that resources can be found easily. That organization is going to lead to communication. That communication leads to engagement and connectedness. And once those things are established, I think that the learning begins. As learning happens and as learners are challenged, as tutors are challenged, there's a level of support that's needed. And with that support, with that feeling of uneasiness, there's also the opportunity to really create a safe space, so that there's permission and that there's a feeling that, oh, we can make mistakes. It's all good. So with that kind of background in mind, the objectives tonight that I thought we could work on would be creating a Google account, creating a Google Classroom account, 2 different things, and then we'll work on an overview for a Google Classroom. And the features that we'll work on would be creating a topic, materials, assignment, how to edit what you put into your classroom, and how to invite students into your classroom. Okay. So who can use Google Classroom? So basically anyone can use Google Classroom. It's included as a free service for anyone with a personal Google account. So think of your Google account as kind of your house. And your Google Classroom is the furniture inside your house. And Lee, I'm not sure how this fits into LitNet, but it's also free for organizations using Google Workspace for education or Google Workspace for nonprofits. If you are signed up under this education workspace or nonprofit workspace, I believe there's additional features that you can access with the Google Classroom, but it works perfectly fine just when you have a Google account. This is the link. Hopefully my hyperlink's going to work in order to create a Google account. It's super user friendly. It is super like step by step by step. If you do not have a Google account, you'd be creating an account for yourself, and then you would be following all of these steps here. I didn't necessarily want to take the time to go into that, if that's okay, because I thought that it's something that you guys could do on your own. But if we have time at the end, we can definitely go back and look at it. So I'm going to try to go back to my presentation. There we go. So again, you need this Google account in order to be able to get Google Classroom. You may want to establish a Gmail account so that everything related to your Google Classroom is under that Gmail account. You don't have to. You can use a pre-existing AOL account, whatever. But definitely you do need to start with this Google account itself. Once you've created your Google account, you can go in and create a Google Classroom. Here's the link again. Pretty self-explanatory. You can set up Google Classroom either with an Android or an iPhone or an iPad. The trouble with the Android, and depending upon the size that you have for your iPad, is that you're really limited with space. I've always done it on my desktop or my laptop. Again, you go into create Google Classroom and then you just follow the prompts. So once you've got your classroom set up or not set up, once you have access to a classroom, it's going to look kind of something like this. And this is the one that I've been using. And again, as I said, there are layers of it. But we're going to just touch on some of the most useful at the moment, most like upfront ones. This is your home page. When your learners or when you access your classroom, this is what you're going to see. This feature of Stream allows you to talk to your students. So it's kind of like you would post assignments. You could post an announcement here. Stream, it gets a little like obnoxious because everything you post is going to come into the stream. So I'm going to leave that out for now. What we're going to really look at is the classroom and the people part of it. In the classroom, on my dashboard, I just click on classroom. We're going to look at adding these topics here. And we're going to go into looking at adding assignments. Excuse me, we're going to look at adding material and then assignments. A topic really is just your heading. And whatever you decide to put, however you decide to organize your headings is up to you. How to organize your topics is absolutely up to you and how you feel it's going to best allow you to access the material and to stay organized. And then the materials, again, kind of follow underneath the headings, underneath the topics, and support the topics. So I can't see anybody when I'm sharing, so if you have any questions, please just feel free to chime in. So let's start to look at creating a topic. And a topic, as I said, organizes materials and assignments into sections. You're going to always want to start at that home page at your dashboard here up top, and you're going to go to classwork. You're going to click on classwork. And you can double check to make sure you're on the right page again by this dashboard. You're going to go to classwork page, go over to create. Whenever you see this plus sign, that means you're going to be adding something. So you're going to be creating something or adding something. When you click on create, it's going to automatically pull down this drop choice list here. And you're going to go to topic because that's what we're creating. Once you click on topic, it's going to bring this pull down little square here. And you're just going to type in the topic that you want. Again, it can be anything. I broke my topics down into, I think it was important information, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Once you type in your topic, you hit add. The one thing about topics is when you add, the newest topic that you add is always going to go to the top of the list, but you can do a drag and drop down. Another cool thing about topics, and you can do this with materials also, is that you can add an emoji for visual support. So if you, and I can go back to my page and show you that. So like with the listening section in my topics, I took an emoji and like an ear emoji. And we can quickly just look at this website called Emoji Copy. You can click on that. And I've listed this in the resources. And they've got all of these emojis to choose from. You're just going to pick an emoji, hit copy. And go right back to wherever you want to add the emoji. And just in my laptop, I work on a MacBook, so it's just Command V, and you just paste it right in there, and then you continue on with what your topic is. But we can look at that a little bit more also. So once you've created your topic, you're going to then go on to creating materials. So the materials are really the content. So it's any articles, handouts, videos, audios, anything that's related to that topic, you can add. The thing about materials is that it is view only to learners. So when you create materials, it's not something that your learner can modify or respond to. It's view only. So again, to create materials, we're going to start at this dashboard, back into classwork. We're going to go back to this create button. Again, that drop-down menu. And you'll choose materials. Once you choose materials, you click on materials. It's automatically going to bring you to the materials page. So a couple steps here. Again, you can double check where you are. Up in the left-hand corner, it's going to say materials. You're going to add a title, whatever title you want. That's going to let you identify the materials. Optional is a description. I like to put in a description for a couple different reasons. One, it helps me, and two, it also gives another opportunity for practicing reading. The next thing, this is probably the most complicated of this whole procedure, is going to be inserting content. So again, once you've got your title in, your description in, you're going to go to this insert content. There's 5 different options. There's 5 different file options that you can do, depending upon what kind of content you want to add as a material. So this is just a blow up of this information, this bar that's here. So again, depending upon the materials, what format the material is in, you can add something from your Google Drive. You can upload a file from your own personal Google Docs. You can go to a website, which you cut and paste the URL for. You can go to a YouTube video, and again, you cut and paste the URL for that. Or you can do something called attach new items. Now, like in full absolute disclosure, I'm not very good at this. I've not used this. The ones that I've used the most are upload file, the website link, and the YouTube video. This is a steep learning curve for me. So I wish I could give more information about it, but maybe next time. So let's
The
just,
documents have to be in a Google file. Can they just be uploaded from your PC or your Mac, from the desktop or your documents?
yeah. So, and I think you've just answered the question that I've been asking, trying to find out myself. So if it's in a Google Doc format, then you do an upload. If it's an actual document, like if it's a Word document that is not, and you can stop me if I'm wrong, because I might be messing this up. If it's not a Google Doc, then you can use this. Let's give that a try. Okay, let's try to add some materials, because if you have it on your desktop, depending upon what it is, you can drop it in as an uploaded file. Does that answer your question? Or
Yeah, no, I was just wondering if one had to convert one's documents onto save them in a Google Drive in order to upload.
nope. Nope.
Sandra, could I just ask you to back up one step?
Yeah.
And describe the differences between those? I'm trying to think of a concrete example. We have that newspaper, what's it called? News of the Day?
News for You online.
News for You online. So if we wanted to upload an article, for example, I noticed there was one in the current issue on Brazil.
Okay.
How would we do that? And I'm embarrassed to tell you, I'm not sure I know what Google Drive is. I'm actually not sure. I mean, I know what YouTube is. I know where my files, I'm not sure.
I
Yeah.
think it's a website, Sandra, so I think she would just do a web link, right? Yeah.
Exactly. So let's go. No, sorry. Let's try that. I have my thing here someplace. Sorry. Let's go to this Google Classroom that's been created. Let's go to classwork. Let's go to create. And let's go to create material. Let's go to, I'm going to put in the title of, what was it, News for You?
Yeah, it needs a password though, and
Oh,
yeah, I don't have it. I think just try anything, I think.
let's try,
You can go to the LitNet website and then just show how you would download, just put the link in.
yeah. I had some links up here, but we can do that. So yeah, let's do, like, I have an online dictionary. So I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna, for sake of time, I'm just gonna copy and paste. Do our online dictionary here. Now I'm gonna go, I have to find it first. So I'm gonna go into my Chrome file. This might get, I have to stop sharing for 1 second here. I'm gonna go into, can you guys still see me? No.
Not your screen yet. You'll hit share again.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But it's gonna pull it up. I apologize. Let me do this. Okay, are we back?
No, sometimes you have to click it twice.
There we go. Okay. What I was trying to do is I wanted to share. Okay, so this is a video. And so if I wanted to, for some reason, share a bean time lapse photo, I'm going to stop it first. I'm going to go over to my YouTube URL. I'm going to just copy and paste it. I'm going to go back to our classroom. And I'm going to hit my link here because it's a video. Actually, we're going to hit YouTube because it was a YouTube video. I'm just going to cut and paste. Let me move this. And I'm going to add my video. So now this has given us access to direct link to this video. I can also go up. I'm going to add a link of just a website. First of all, I'm going to capture my website up here. I had this looked up before. So it's about no nonsense. It's about idioms. I'm going to, again, just do a copy and paste from the website that I'm on. Go back to my classroom. Sorry, where's my classroom? Here's our classroom. Because again, because it's a link to a website, I'm going to add link. I'm going to copy and paste, add link, and that pulls that link up. I can
So,
share my Google Drive also.
yeah, I was just about to say if you could. Yeah.
Yeah. So these are just all things. Let's do this. Let's just do this agenda from another class that I've had. So I went into my Google Drive. These are all things that I own. I'm going to click on the document that I want, do insert, and that one gets inserted. Now, again, you were asking about uploading files. So when I upload my files, they're really just, they're the files that I own. So my Google Drive is files that other people have shared with me. So these are all my own files. So let's just take this one. And I'm going to insert. And there we go.
So Sandra,
yeah.
Sandra, if you go back for a second to that upload where you were just at,
Mm-hmm.
what if you press browse?
Yep. So this is going to give me everything. And this was answering the question that this is my, okay, so let me go. So if you want to browse, we can go to desktop and browse.
Yeah, so like, so that'll let you have access to documents that are not on Google Drive or that are not, right? Okay,
Yes.
so I just, yeah, okay.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, I had to do it in my classroom, so I know a little bit about it, but.
Any help, definitely bring in. And then we've got the downloads. So anything that is not on Google Drive that's localized to my computer, I can do. You can also do a drag file too. Let's see if that's going to work. I don't know. Let's try. I don't have a file up here. That's the problem. Shoot. Let me see if this works. No, that didn't work. If you had, if you have something on your desktop, and I apologize that this is a mess. So I went to my desktop, I minimized this. I have a screenshot on my desktop. I can just drag it from my desktop. And it's automatically going to be dropped into this material section again. This is probably the most confusing part of it all. And I just encourage you to really just play around with it. But it's such a great feature. Once you get all of this stuff done, I'm gonna lose this. I apologize. Once you get all of your materials in, you have to post it. So now, we built the materials with the title, with the description, with the actual materials that we've either downloaded or uploaded or attached through a video or a link. Now you need to be able to post it. I start reading this posting section from the bottom up. You're going to be able to post, you want to be able to post it into a particular topic. So if you have 3 or 4 topics that you've created, like again, I have speaking, listening, speaking, reading, and writing. You're going to be able to post it into a particular topic. And if you have more than one student that you're working with, you can post it to particular students. Once you've established the topic and the students, you're going to post this pull down arrow is going to give you 3 options to post, either to post it immediately, to schedule a time to post it, or to save it as a draft. I often save material as a draft because as I'm binding information that I want to use in the future, I can just plug it in, put it in as materials, save it as a draft, and then revisit it later. So it almost works as a library for me. Assignments are created. Actually, I should ask, is there any questions? Am I going too quickly, too slowly? All's good? Okay. So to create an assignment is a type of work that a student will do and submit. A student has ability to edit work that you put in as an assignment. So again, you're going to start as the classroom on the dashboard. You're going to go back to create, to assignments. This assignment, once you click on assignments, it's going to lead you directly to an assignment page. Again, you've got the same thing going on. You can double check that it's an assignment. You put in a title, instructions, go back, put in the document, those links that you want, any support material. The difference again with an assignment is going to be how you're going to post it. I'm going to kind of skip this inserting content just for the sake of time here, because I'm not sure how we're doing here. When you go to assign something,
it's still going on. I'm just too embarrassed to just leave, but it's just.
you guys still
Sorry,
there?
continue, yes.
Oh, okay. So again, you can, you're gonna assign it to a particular topic. You can put a due date in, and you can indicate which students are going to receive the assignment. And then you're gonna assign, which is an immediate resource available for the students. You can schedule it to a particular time, or you can save it as a draft. One of the important things when you are doing an assignment right here is once you add materials to your assignment page, you're going to get a pull down bar that's going to say students can only view it, students can edit the file, or make a copy for each student. If you want the students to have edit ability for this material that you posted here or that you've linked here, you need to select students can edit or make a copy for each student. So both of those options are going to allow the student to be able to edit the materials. So about editing, editing is probably one of the easiest things to do. You can edit a topic, you can edit materials, or you can edit an assignment. These three little dots here are your editing features. And once you click on what you want to, you click on the three circles, and then you're able to either rename, delete, or copy a link, and the same with all of your materials and your assignments. If your assignment's already posted, you have to hit save in order for that material to be saved. Let's just super quick look at editing. I'm going to go to my classwork. Say I didn't like this topic of today. Say I wanted to change it to something else. So I'm just going to click on my three dots. I can either delete this topic, I can change the location of the topic, or I can rename it. So let's just say I rename it. I want to say today's work. Once I change the topic name, I just rename it. If I want to go down and look at some work, let's say this one. If I want to edit this material that I posted, again, I find my three dots, click those on. I can delete the whole thing. I can move the location of it. I can copy it and use it some other place, or I'm going to just go back to editing it. This again allows me to edit anything that's on this screen. I can change the title, the description. I can add more content to it. I can delete the content. I can also go and change the topic where I want to put it. I can change the students who I want to assign it to. If I had not posted it, I'm going to just quickly go back and show you guys that. If I hadn't posted this material, let's do this one because this still says draft. So that means it's not posted yet. I'll go back to edit. I can go to the top right-hand corner where it says post, click on post, and I can either post it or schedule it or save it as a draft, which I already did, so I don't want to do that. Let's schedule it. So I can schedule this material for a particular date. Let's schedule it for the 11th. Schedule. And then we go back here and it updates this information that it's been scheduled for the 11th. Probably won't use it that much, but it is a feature if you want to, just have it as some sort of accountability.
Does that mean your learner gets an email on that day that says, here's your assignment, or they just know that it's due that day, or?
So they just know that it's due that day. That's a really good question. Let me go to this.
They do get an email.
They do get an email?
Yes,
Okay.
so once you post an assignment, the student will get an email saying, there's a new posting or an assignment.
So thank you, because I know that does come up. That came up here, right? Oh, sorry.
I wonder if you can turn the feature on or off, Miguel, do you know?
I don't know that part of it. I just know that whenever there was communication back and forth with the students, there was always an email.
That's right. And it also gets posted here on the stream,
and
right?
It gets posted, right. So the student can go to the actual Google Classroom and they can check out all the assignments and things that are up.
Yeah. Okay. And I think the last thing that we just have to cover is how to invite students. So again, it's on the dashboard. We go to people. So both students and teachers or tutors and anyone else that you are interested in having be part of your classroom can be invited, but students and teachers are going to have different access to the classroom. Obviously, you know, teachers have the posting rights and creating the classroom. Teachers have access to all materials and assignments that are posted or not posted, but students have access to posted material and assignments only. The way to the way to invite is just to simply figure out you want to invite a teacher or a student. You go over to this icon here, the little person with the plus, and you're going to click on the icon, and that goes directly to an invite. I did not put my invite up here because it pulls up your full email. So I didn't want to just share all the email contacts that I have. But this will also have the list of your emails here. So you can choose the email directly, or you can type in the name of the person if it's on your email list or their email directly. You're going to hit invite. And then this email is automatically sent to whatever address you had, whatever address you used. It's an email invite that tells the student that they're being invited to this particular classroom, and it asks them to join. So just wrapping up, we looked at creating a Google Google account, creating a Google Classroom account. We looked at creating topics, materials, assignments, editing those topic materials and assignments, and inviting students. I think the positives about Google Classroom is that it's available for both learners and tutors. Limited equipment. You can use a laptop, desktop, iPad, or iPhone. You need internet access. You do need that Gmail account, which was in the beginning, that slide that showed you where to go to create a Gmail account. And it's a free, it's free. I think that in terms of resources, it provides a space for both learners and tutors. If you're teaching virtually, it really does give a sense of like a grounding space, a meeting space. It supports, this I think is a really big one. It supports technology literacy. It gives your learner an opportunity to really dive into technology as well as yourself. And depending upon who you invite to your classroom and how your materials and information are shared, it gives an opportunity for community learning and connection. And that is it. I apologize if it went quickly. I was trying to figure out how to kind of just give you guys an overview of it and resources of how you can kind of do some self-learning and build the classroom. So Miguel, if you have anything else like to clarify that I might have missed, or Lee or anybody else, please feel free.
No, I just want to say you did a great job. I thought it was very thorough. The information's very clear. And, you know, since you have this document, I mean, it'll be available. So if people want to go back and check out,
Yeah.
you know, it's a video, but we can also, I guess we can share the actual, the presentation. So
Yeah.
I also think that it's a great resource for when you can't do the class with your student a certain week. You can send them for materials to them or an assignment you'd like them to do, a video. I mean, it's just a great resource all around.
Yeah. And again, there's other layers to it, like with inviting students, and, you know, you can take students off. Like it's a really good resource. I think if you have the interest or the time, start with slow steps. You don't need to do assignments. This classroom that I have for the woman who I tutor with, I've got it posted mostly as materials, and we use it more as like a resource library. And that way I feel like she has the ability to access the information when she needs to. And especially before we had these books, it was really the only way we could communicate. The only way that we could share information was through a classroom. And again, I think for me, one of the keys is self-sufficiency. So if a learner has that ability to say, hey, I want to review this information, like Miguel was saying, it's right there.
Yeah, I also thought that you had some really interesting materials that you shared with Reina. You had like listening components and reading and dictionaries. So, that was like all at her disposal through the classroom. So that was, I thought that was really impressive as well.
If I can just take one more second, because I did want to share the one thing that I didn't share with you guys. I put a resource list in the back here. And honestly, these were just things that as I was putting this slideshow together, that I came upon. So these were these top parts, two references or resources were things that I just happened to find that I thought were interesting to support learners. These two middle were links for information about Google Education and Google Classrooms. And then these last two were just links about, what does a classroom space look like? What does language learning look like? So I didn't really give a deep dive into any of those resources, but as I said, as I built this slide presentation, I just came upon them and thought they'd be interesting to share. Yeah.
Sandra, Miguel said that he was interested in some of your materials, and that's what I was actually going to address as well. You had 50 audio lessons and the things on idioms. I wonder, and maybe this is more of a Miguel and Lee thing, but if our tutors, as they tutor, have discovered really wonderful websites or material, let's call it, just online that's free, I would love to see us share that with all of the tutors, and maybe by category. For example, Miguel, you broke it down to listening and, well, I don't know, listening, writing, and idioms, and that would be awesome as we are trying to do something with a student, if we could piggyback on some of the resources that our peer tutors have found.
Yeah, so we're updating the LitNet Tutor Manual, and one of the things we found is resources change quickly. So it's a hard thing. But for example, Linda, you shared with me the other day the ABC Teach, and I got a subscription, and Paula asked me, do we have anything that has online flashcards? So the resource you shared with me, I now shared with Paula. But we're always looking for, tutors are sharing things, and in the workshop we have shared some things, and when we get around to updating that manual, which is on the horizon, I think we will add some current resources. And
yeah, I just wondered, just to give you one more thing to do, Lee, but if every month the tutors could receive an email and add to it about materials that each other has found that they thought was either fun to use or helpful, or.
Yeah, so Miguel had a good idea about kind of like the idea of the month, or did you know, and even what we're doing right now is kind of part of that, because Sandra talked about this and we said, hey, do you want to tell other people? Mark, we did the Zoom. Miguel was just in touch with one of our tutors who does a lot of games in her tutoring. So we're trying to find ways to have these little videos and they go on our YouTube channel, and because there are some great things out there, and books and resources, and we love that people are able to be creative, and we don't say this is how you do it at LitNet, use this book and this resource. And so I guess the answer is yes. We're thinking of that too, and we're aware of that, and yes.
And we did make a list of Sandra was kind enough to share with us a whole entire list of all the websites and things that she uses. So we should still have that document somewhere
Yes.
that we
And
can send
we
out.
shared that with the beginners workshop.
Right.
But remember, Linda, I think that I sent it to you and it was like the document was corrupt and then I resent it. Do you remember that?
I'm sorry, I don't know which one that was, but I'd
That's
love to
okay.
have it
It
again.
was, yeah, it was a
I'll-
Word document. And sometimes, there's so many resources, it's hard to know like how to store them all, but I'll resend you Sandra's collection.
Thank you. I'll pay
yeah.
attention to it this
That's all
time.
right. That's all right. Sometimes it comes at the right moment too. It's like you can have so many things and not be able to use it. And then something comes at the right moment. I should send that to you too, Paula, the list of websites and,
Yeah, that would be great. I'd appreciate
yeah,
it.
good. I'll do that.
Isn't there also the possibility of starting a private spot on our website that tutors could log in and find these resources, and then we could update them just online? And
I think that it really would take a website overhaul, but it's been on our list to do. And I think it would be
seems
great.
like as soon as they're added to the manual, there's going to be like 20 more and, new and modern ones. So
Yeah, I mean, we've been always looking at what's the right forum to have cross conversations. And I think really I forget what you call it, kind of an intraweb or something would be a great idea. And I think just, like our database was an old closet with too many things in it, I think our website could use a fresher approach too. So, yeah, we're always moving forward, always trying to improve and coming through new times, but this has been great and it's recorded. It will go on our YouTube. I'll share it with you all later tonight or tomorrow, probably more realistically, so you can go back in and take notes. And if you have more questions, Miguel certainly has experience with this. I'm sure Sandra would be glad to answer some questions. It looks like it's kind of just playing around and figuring out what things mean. So yeah, so I'm really grateful for Sandra for sharing her time with us, and we'll share this and see where we go. But thank you all. Any last questions or thoughts or?
So if you'd like, I can share the slides with you. And if you wanted to share them with people who were here,
That'd be great.
that's also an option.
That'd be great. We love that. So
Thank you. This was so helpful.
very
Thank
good.
you, Sandra.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sandra. That was great.
Thanks
Good
to
work.
Very
everybody.
much.
Okay.
All right, bye-bye, everybody.